Y'all really didn't think I was going to talk about Canada, did you? You thought I was going to make a video about Mexico and the United States and call it a day. Well, no, sir, we're back here again on the channel. I show everybody love in CONCACAF, my Canadians included. And this is the second window in a row where I feel like Canada has an underappreciated set of opponents. Last window, or should I say the last friendly window before the Gold Cup, Ivory Coast and Ukraine, that's a banger, man. I regret not being able to make a video back then. I was just too busy with the Gold Cup kicking off. But I'm not making that mistake again. I'm here for y'all. We're going to be previewing Canada's games against Wales and Romania because I think these games slap. Is this a 10 out of 10 friendly window? Canadians, let me know down below. On the hype meter, 1 being you could not give half of a frick and 10 being you're unbelievably excited. What would you give this set of opponents? I would probably give it like a 7.5 or an 8. It's actually really solid. Now, would I have preferred as a football hipster to see someone like Uzbekistan? Of course I would. But Uzbekistan are busy in the CAFA Cup, so that was not a possibility. If y'all have seen my previews for the Mexico and United States window, then you know I typically start with the roster reaction. So I'll do that for Canada right now, and then we'll do Romania first, then Wales. I'll give you guys my predictions, what I think Canada should be doing. Y'all, of course, follow along in the comments. So on your screen now is the Canada roster, and I'll be honest, outside of the big omissions via injury, guys like Moise Bombito, Alistair Johnston, which are big, pretty significant omissions, I feel like with my limited Canadian national team knowledge, I feel like this is about as good as Canada could have done. What I thought was super ironic is that when the United States dropped their squad, obviously there's a lot of MLS guys, a lot of guys who had never seen the national team or only got caps at the Gold Cup, and American fans are like, where are the European guys? We got to get in our starting 11. And I saw a couple comments from Canadians saying the reverse, where they were like, where are the young guys? This is a friendly. We're supposed to be testing out new talent. I think it's just, at the end of the day, the takeaway is football fans are never happy. You cannot win in this industry. But yeah, man, this is a really, really good squad for everybody available. Obviously, Oluwaseyi recently going to Villarreal. Canadians are very excited about that. There's one talking point that I have here, really two. Number one, Nico Sigor. I thought he was great at the Gold Cup. Because of the omissions in the defense, I assume he's going to play as a fullback here, which would be really good to see. Nathan Saliba started really well for Anderlecht as well, so I'd like him to start. Promise David, though, for me is the big one because I need a Canadian down below to let me know what's going on. He's only started one of the first 3 games of the season for Gilroy, and I'm not really sure why. Seems like he's been benched for Kevin Rodriguez. I don't know if that's due to injury. I guess for the sake of this video, it doesn't matter. I would like to see him get a goal in this window. I haven't seen Canadians as excited about a commitment or like a allegiance switch as I have with Promise David in a while, and I feel like it's important to y'all that this guy comes good. And so I would like him to start one of the games, either Wales or Romania. I don't really care. Now, the window overall, both of these games are going to be played in Europe, which, again, bonus points for Canada, man. I feel like the Canadian FA are making all the right decisions. I think if you look at the competency level of Canada soccer versus the United States or U.S. soccer, Canada in 4. Honestly, on the pitch, it's been Canada in 4 too because the U.S. can't seem to beat them anymore. Going away to Bucharest, going away to Cardiff, that is awesome. That, to me, is better World Cup preparation than playing the games at home. We know Canada are good at home. Look at the Honduras game. Get out there and test yourself, man. CONCACAF teams love to stay in the bubble. And I'm not breaking news by saying this, but Canada need a hard rebound from the Gold Cup. The tournament was a flop. Y'all failed. The objectives were not met. It's okay to say that and not be a Canadian hater. Panama flopped too. Jamaica flopped harder than y'all. So don't take it personally. I'm just the messenger. So Canadians, let me know, but I'm feeling like 3 points this window. Got to get 1 win here. 6 points would be epic, of course, but I'm going for 3 here as my objective. I'll start with Romania first, and this is worth noting that Romania have a World Cup qualifier immediately after this Canadian friendly. So they have the Canada friendly, World Cup qualifier. Wales have the reverse. They have World Cup qualifier and then Canadian friendly. I think that matters because obviously you'd have to be somewhat of an idiot as the Romanian manager to prioritize a friendly against Canada versus World Cup qualifier. And I know that World Cup qualifier is against Cyprus, but still, can you imagine if they drew the game or something but beat Canada 5-0? That's not going to happen. But if something like that transpired, that guy would be under intense heat. He might be sacked for a result like that. So this is going to be a Romanian team that I think is going to be operating at about 80% potential, 80% capacity. Fun fact, this is the first ever meeting between Romania and Canada, which is awesome. I love to see new fixtures in the world of footy. The form for Romania kind of iffy, y'all. Romania, spoiler alert, I think this is the more winnable game. I think Wales is a much harder opponent at this point in time. Wales, man, those guys have leveled up. They've evolved like a Pokemon. It's absolutely crazy. Romania, they're very good, and they have been very good for a while at beating bad teams. Cyprus, Kosovo, San Marino, they love beating those guys. Every time they play an average European team or better, though, they lose. They lost to Bosnia at home, and Bosnia are trying to emerge from the depths of hell. Austria beat them 2-1 in a World Cup qualifier as well. In fact, 3 of Romania's last 6 wins are against Cyprus. 3 of them are against Cyprus, and they play Cyprus again right after Canada. So 4 of their last 7 wins could potentially be against a teeny tiny island that's FIFA ranked God knows what, 110, I don't know. Outside of a one-off game against Ukraine at the Euro where they were very good and Ukraine kind of flopped, Romania are not impressive. This is a winnable game for Canada. I don't care what the Euro Sims want to say. Canada should be going out there for 3 points. Now, a preview of Romania is very difficult. I'm not a Romanian football expert. I know much more about the Roman Empire than I do the Romanian national team. I do know that there are a couple players I want to highlight. Denis Man and Andre Ratiu. Andre Ratiu plays as a fullback. Denis Man is a winger. Sometimes they play both on the right side of the pitch. If that's the case in this friendly, Canada's going to have to shut up shop on that side. Whoever's the starting left back, whoever's the starting left winger, I don't know if it's Schaffelberg or whatever, going to have a lot of defensive duties. These are the creators for the Romanian national team, and these guys love to cross balls in the box. They're not particularly creative through the middle. This is not a super good team. I'm going to repeat that. They're not bad, but don't give them too much freaking respect. Most of them play in the Romanian domestic league for Bucharest, the club team. They got a couple guys in Spain. They got a couple guys in the Bundesliga. It's also a pretty old team, so I feel like if Canada comes out there and tries to make the game physical, again, with them having a World Cup qualifier immediately following, Romania might just fold because they don't want to get injured. It wouldn't even be an act of cowardice or oh, these guys aren't built tough. No, the priority is the following game. They might even play a bunch of the young guys who aren't experienced and haven't played together in this match and preserve the A team for the Cyprus game. So my prediction for this game, I do think because of the Canadian omissions that Romania will get a goal, although a clean sheet in Bucharest is not impossible because teams like Liechtenstein and Bulgaria have done so in the last year. So Canada are better than those two national teams. They can be aiming for a clean sheet. I'm just going to come out and say it, though. I think Canada win this game. Maybe a 2-1, 1-0, something like that. A draw would be a little disappointing unless it was like a 2-2. I think that would be kind of exciting. There'd be some nice takeaways from that. But yeah, Canada should really be trying to win. Now, the Wales game, moving on there have been 3 meetings previously. The last one was in 2004, though, so it has no impact on this game whatsoever, unless there's a hidden rivalry between Wales and Canada that no one has ever informed me about. I think this is just another kind of interesting friendly. 2 wins for Wales all time, 1 for Canada. Maybe Canada can even the score here. Now, Wales and their form, sneaky good, man. This team, like I said, Pokemon Evolution, they used to be park the freaking bus, then park another bus next to that so that the first bus can't even get out, and just counter with Gareth Bale. That was basically Wales for 10 years. Well, now that Gareth Bale's gone and now that Aaron Ramsey's gone, this team is actually a pretty solid possession team. Wales actually play good football now. Since 2023, Wales have lost 4 out of their 24 games. That is crazy. Now, they've only won 10 of those 24 in that same time span, but the point is that Wales are very, very hard to beat. That's why I see this as the more difficult matchup for Canada. Also because Wales, their home form compared to Romania's home form is far superior. Cardiff City is a fortress. It is very, very difficult to go there and win. Romania and Bucharest, it's not the scariest fixture. And I'm not trying to say that either of these friendlies should be easy, but Cardiff is the more difficult assignment. They're undefeated in their last 6 home games, and in 3 of those, they kept a clean sheet. They're also second in World Cup qualifying Group J currently. Now, not all teams have played, but that's still important to say. And they won Group 4 in the Nations League, didn't lose to Turkey. I feel like everybody and their mom thought Turkey was going to win that group, and Wales end up finishing the tournament, or that group, undefeated. Harry Wilson's got 6 goals in his last 8 games for Wales. He's been on fire. Brennan Johnson from Tottenham, 3 goals, 1 assist in his last 6 games. there's some talent here, man. Now, because Wales had their qualifier first and then this Canada game, I don't really know what that means. I would expect the A team to at least start, but then probably get taken off completely by halftime. And so this is a bit interesting for me to give a score prediction on, because I also don't know what Jesse Marsch is going to do. Is he going to just sit back against Wales? He's usually pretty dogmatic. I would imagine he's going to try to press Wales, and it should be a rotated Wales team. So I do think Canada is going to get one here, but I'm going to think at the end of the day, Wales winning 2-1. Unless Wales play nothing but a bunch of teenagers and U23 guys in the second game, a win away would be freaking massive. And I think Jesse Marsch will be trying to do that. Like, I do think Canada could take 6 in this window. Maybe I'm just sounding like an idiot by saying that, but I really think the team plays well. I think the Gold Cup was a mixture of bad circumstance and bad luck. Canada weren't ass in the tournament. They just lost on penalties down a man to a very inspired, in-form Guatemalan team. And I think these players want to make amends. So yeah, I will be watching these games. I won't be going live for them, unfortunately. The times in which they're kicking off just don't work with my schedule, but I will be talking about them in a big-ass CONCACAF recap video I'm dropping on the channel. So if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to see my live streams for the actual CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, just in case you're curious about what's going down, you know, in Central America and the Caribbean, you guys can find my live streams kicking off whenever those games happen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Canadians, let me know down below how many points you think y'all are taking in this window. Smash the like button if you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.